It's Friday, November 29th, 2019. This is the Pro and the Con Show, and I'm your host, Michael James Ott. Welcome to the show. So, the first day after Thanksgiving 2019, and so-called Black Friday. And some people are out there, really trying to get those deals. Again, as I've just said in previous shows, there's nothing wrong with getting a bargain, folks. And actually, some people, they actually turn it into a social thing. So they go out with their friends, and it's more of a social thing, have coffee, have breakfast, go do some shopping, have lunch. And it's more of a social kind of stuff, or it can be. And those kinds of things are kind of fulfilling. But, the actual act of buying something very rarely, in fact, almost never has a lasting effect as far as the how positive it is to our souls, to our happiness. So don't be out there buying stuff thinking it's going to make you happy, because it won't. And again, that's because we have the wrong definition of success, which currently is accumulation of wealth, influence, and power. And that's why everyone is so depressed these days. You need to adopt a new one, which is service to the planet and the people on it. Okay, that is the definition of success. And I hope you have adopted that and have encouraged friends, relatives, neighbors, work associates to do the same. Well, today's show is called Tucker. So it's kind of time to get back to the regular news. And for the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of stuff about the impeachment or the proceedings on its way to a House vote on recommending impeachment, recommending articles of impeachment, and more than likely the Senate stonewalling because of the Republican majority and failing to convict. So that's kind of where everyone thinks this is headed. We'll see. But we have observed, hopefully you have observed, watched read the transcripts and watched some of the live depositions and interviews. And those are not the right words. I hate that when that happens. Anyway, before Congress, people have been being questioned and providing those answers before Congress. But anyway, so Tucker. So this week, Tucker Carlson, and that's what the fellow looks like. He appears, he's one of the hosts of various shows on the Fox News. Okay, which Fox, again, is information channel. They can call themselves news because there's nothing to stop them from doing that. But again, Fox News under no obligation to tell you the truth. But anyway, so he normally, he and most of the people on Fox News generally are fairly supportive of Mr. Trump. But this week, during one of his shows, he launched into this discussion, and he described the president as a racist liar and a full-blown BS artist. He started his show by bringing up a Washington Post article that states that Trump has made more than 13,000 false or misleading claims since taking office in January of 2017. And Tucker Carlson seemed to agree that the president frequently fails to tell the truth. And he used a clip of Trump wrongly claiming the crowd attending his inauguration ceremony was the biggest ever. And then he said, "We're not going to lie to you." This is Tucker Carlson now talking. "That was untrue," said Carlson. "The crowd at the 2017 inauguration was not the biggest ever measured on the National Mall. Sorry, it was not." Then the pundit, so this is, where did this appear? In Newsweek. So then Tucker Carlson, they called him pundit in here, explained that he believes Trump made the false claim because it is part of his nature. likening the president's alleged repeated lying to the skill set of a car salesman. That is who he is. Donald Trump is a salesman. He's a car salesman. He's a talker, a boaster, a booster, a compulsive self-promoter. At times, he's a full-blown BS artist. If Trump hadn't gotten rich in real estate, he could have made a fortune selling cars. Okay. And so then at that point, he said, everybody knows he's a liar, and everyone takes that into account. Okay, well, maybe everyone does. Do you? So this is the thing that, and so it's going to be a fairly short show today, but, I've said to you many times in the past, Donald Trump is a con man. He is a prolific con man, and he basically tells people what he thinks they want to hear, and it's all about ingratiating himself so that he can get his agenda carried forward. And because his agenda is the accumulation of wealth, influence, and power, and that's got to come from somewhere, it ends up taking it from a lot of us, including me. Okay, I'm not one of the rich people that absorbed the greatest benefit from that tax cut, for example, that was passed a couple of years ago. So I am extremely uncomfortable with this. I don't like car salesmen. I mean, and I don't mean to besmirch. I'm sure that there's some very good ones out there, but the vast majority that I have ever dealt with, wow, the truth, the truth is not anywhere close to what they care to tell you. The only thing that you know is truthful is, here's the car, here it is, and here are the keys, and here's the title. Those things are rock solid. That's the car, here's the title, here's the keys. The rest of it, how good the quality of that car is, and whether the title is valid or not, and whether the keys fit the car, that's all. It's up to buyer beware. And then as far as what's on the car, what it does, how well it does it, they just talk and tell you whatever. And this whole dance around negotiating over the price and stuff like that, it's nothing but just a swirling thing of deception. And and from their perspective, I read an article a couple of months ago that said, well, customers lie to us all the time too. Well, maybe that's the nature of the beast, but on the national stage of our government, hey, the truth between us, the citizens, and the people that are in our government and the structure of the government, wow, that should just be truth. This shouldn't be, this swirling, fog of wow, no, we're not spending money over here on this. Well, yes, if they are, they are. Then tell the truth. The truth. We're not negotiating here, in the running of our government, or at least we shouldn't be. And so, Tucker Carlson, I don't know. I appreciate that you, have come forward and basically said, he's a full-blown BS artist. And it's nice to hear that acknowledged by people who normally would never acknowledge it. That's great. But the other part, let me just say one more thing before I finish. So the other part of this is, a few shows ago, I talked about Bill Maher, and he's a comedian, and he was really very negative about Trump supporters. Okay, and if you listen to Tucker Carlson and some of the other people on Fox News, he and they are always very negative about people that are not Trump supporters. Okay, and just like Bill Maher was not doing anybody any favors by keeping that divide and encouraging that kind of divide between us, Tucker Carlson and the folks that work with him, who often are very degrading to non-Trump supporters, they're not doing us any favors either. You see what I'm saying there? So he talked about Mr. Trump being a bullshit artist, and he is. That's a fact. That's a who, a what, a where, a when. That's true. But then he went on to say, but people should support him, and if you don't, you're a horrible person, blah, 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 blah. Same thing from the opposite side with Bill Maher. And that's why the Pro and Con show, folks, this is our country. 340 to 350 million of us. The laws belong to all of us. This is our country, ours. Not Democrats' country, not the Republicans' country, not the independents' country, not the Christians or the Muslims or anybody. It's our country, all of us, men, women, children, all manner of, tall, short, thick and thin, all color, hair, eyes, and skin. Okay, this country is ours, and so take the time. If someone has an opinion, where is that coming from? What information do you have that causes you to have that opinion? I've listened to that, and I want you to understand where I'm coming from. Okay? Let's get on the same place as far as understanding, and then let's talk about how we go forward. All right? So, so for Friday, November 29th, 2019, this is the Pro and Con Show. I'm Michael James Ott. Until the next show, bye for now.